But if we go with the daily basis, we are getting around 18 to 20. We target for around 25 always. 25 orders are decent orders. We divide it by 12 men, 12 women, or 10 men, 12 women. We divide it as deep as possible.
Hey, this is Shuvo, and I welcome you to e-commerce growth podcast. Here I talk about how you can turn your e-commerce store visitors into repeat customers. Every week, I bring a successful e-commerce store owner or a thought leader, know the untold game plan behind their success, and share them with you. In our today's episode, we have Khan Jamshed, the owner of KJ Clothing. After completing his graduation, Jamshed started walking in a path of entrepreneurship. He launched KJ Clothing, through which he made footwear and other accessories accessible to all sorts of customers. Creating products by keeping the needs of the young generation in mind, Jamshed soon made it possible to triple the sales as well. Today we'll learn from Jamshed what helped him scale his company from zero to this stage. So tell us about your journey. How did you start your company, KJ Clothing, right?
Yes, KJ Clothing. So that goes with the name wearkj.com, like over the social medias. So I started back in 2018. We started with the men's lineup. We started with initially we had two to three collections of men's sandals and loafers. We had a little idea that we wanted to explore more into the men's footwear lineup. But initially, in the first 4 months of our journey, we saw a little bit of gap. Like we just not wanted to work with men's lineup, since we've been targeting both our audiences, men and women. We have friends all over, like men, women, and everything. We wanted to bring something for the women as well, but women and men's footwear lineup, they are totally different. Like men go for shoes and loafers, like for 365 days. A men can go with loafers, they can go to office, they can go to wedding, walima, gahalus and everything. But with the women's sandals, it's a bit different. They go with heels for a certain type of occasion. For flats, like they're just going to the rooftop. They don't need to wear a flats. They don't need to wear something like bulky or anything. Or they just go into their north, south or IB classes. I'm an IB student, so I used to go to university. I used to see friends or my senior, junior, like the footwear collection they were wearing, they were nice and everything, they were okay, but it was not simple. It was like, this is too heavy, this my feet hurts or something like that. This is not stylish. Like there was a gap, like in, how do I explain? If we are talking about the gap, for when it comes to footwear, we don't necessarily give much attention. Like footwears are generally a bit expensive in Bangladesh. Like it's expensive in a sense that you don't get good products and everything, but it comes with a good price. Like I don't want to name any other brands, but it's for example, 2,000 taka. For example, 3,000 taka. But a flat sandals with because we don't obviously wear the product. We sometimes wear the brand as well. It should be conscious brand. It should be an eco-friendly brand, a brand which goes with my attitude, which goes with my style as well. I can't be wearing something very posh. I'm not that kind of guy. I would expect my customers to wear something simple as well, that speaks for their attitude and everything. So my customers, the people who were wearing cages, they were mostly my friends, my university friends, and then from there the journey started. I did few of fair at my university as well. So people who were wearing cages, they were mostly like they were just students like me, or they just started with their first job or second job. Generally, like the audience grew into something like appus and aunties. They were wearing to small dawats or something, like small kichu events. You know what I'm going to. So from there, this journey started. I dived more into like I'm getting more orders from the women's side, though I have less inventory, though I have less collection. And then I shifted my whole dynamics of the business and focused on the women's lineup. Now I get 65 to 70% orders from the women's lineup only. So initially when a person starts, or when an organization goes with their business model that they're going to start with these kind of product, it's not generally that they have to stick to that.
Yeah,
definitely you have to change. Like in 2 months you have to know what's working for me, what's not working for me.
Yeah.
So go getting the data. Like from the beginning we had a good data format, in a sense that we knew how to track the orders. We were just not taking the orders in pen and paper. We had a specific data format, a data sheet format where we could track orders, how many number of products we are getting. We could get an insight, like so we whatever we were learning, it I just tried to. I was also enjoying. I was not a geek into like money. I was not running into money or anything. I was just more enjoying the creating a brand.
All right.
So I was more into enjoying that. So while that I've worked with a lot of small businesses. Like I have friends who started the same e-commerce. Like I was, how do you tell? I have friends who started a small e-commerce business. I was delighted with that. I was like, oh, that's nice. Let's dive more into that. As I'm 4 years down that way, I can see that it does shape up in a very good way. Like you can go with the Google ads, Instagram ads. You if you have the will, like you will know how to target. If you know the drive, like this is the gap that is happening in between these brands, or people are not conscious with this specific kind of like for when it comes to footwear, it's a bit difficult market. It's just not like clothing. I'm not saying clothing is easy, but footwear it's a bit competitive. Like there are brands, big brands who are there with a lot of big capital inventory and everything. So it's difficult to cope up with because the audience is same.
Yeah.
The big brands, the big tigers, the big sharks, whatever I call them, they are targeting the same audience, people in Bangladesh as well. So, but there was obviously a gap in marketing. There was gap in people who they were targeting. The brands should speak. The product should not speak. The brand should be more in the highlight section. Like people should know the brand.
So basically, what you did was you saw a gap in the segment where people were looking for comfortable shoes for daily wears. But when it comes to comfortable shoes, they were not cheap. They were very pricey.
Plus, they were not good designs. They were not looking very good. Plus, handmade products, footwear made in Bangladesh was not that much of a thing back in 2018. It's like you can see there are a lot of 10, 20, 100 pages right now, startups there who are going for footwear, obviously. But back in 2018 or 19, when you go with starting with a footwear brand, there a lot of background things needs to be done before you go into footwear because the inventories are not the same as a clothing business. So inventory, the sizing of the office, the sizing of the factory, raw material sourcing. These are like in Bangladesh, it's easy because we come from a garments factory country, a country which exports in Chittagong. So why do I pretty much always compare things like when it comes to resources from Chittagong because I'm maintaining everything from Chittagong and Dhaka. So whenever it comes to footwear, there is a gap because it's just few brands. There are only 4 brands, 5 brands, the best footwear companies. So it's difficult, and the other 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you don't know the brands. You don't want to know the brands because they are irrelevant. But when it comes to other brands, you might want to check out the other 6, 7, 8, 9th brand because you might get something good from those brands if it comes to clothing. But when it comes to footwear, it's difficult because you have to be in the top 4, top 3 because people just want to buy the best one. Because footwear has to be long-term, long-lasting.
Got it. So how are your company growing now? How many sales are you getting on a daily basis or maybe a monthly basis?
On a monthly and daily basis, for example, if we go with the daily basis, we are getting around 18 to 20. We target for around 25 always. 25 orders are decent orders. We divide it by 12 men, 12 women, or 10 men, 12 women. We divide it as deep as possible, as simple as possible because meeting targets is not the only thing. We need our fellow customers, we need our audience to buy a specific brand and wait for a good, decent couple of amount of months. We don't want it to be damaged in few months. We also have a lot of flexible exchange policy, return policy and everything. If you don't like the product, just send us back. Just message us. No need to worry about that. So the policies, the number of orders, it very much depends on the policies. Like for example, from today, if we decide we are not going to provide free exchange, I think our orders are going to fall because
Makes sense.
Because anytime customers ask us, a customer's going to place an order through our website, we still call them up to reconfirm it, and the first thing they ask is, do you have size exchange policy? We are very much proud with like, yes, if you like the product, take the product only then. You don't have to pay anything extra, just return it back. If we don't have those policy, I think the orders are going to drop. So number of orders, like what we have seen is that as we are changing the policies, as we are changing the rules and regulations, because there are a lot of we don't want, because in this market there are a lot of hoaxes, so people are a little less confident with online e-commerce businesses. I don't have to tell you that exactly, obviously, because they're like, what if takata mere chilo chai? So we don't take advances or only on this. So what I'm telling is that I don't want to ever talk about my policies, but the policies shape up a lot of how number of orders you're getting.
Okay.
Exactly. So we might get a little less orders today, but when we go 1 week from now, we look at the data, like what have we been doing wrong, or the sales channel we haven't been retargeting, something like that.
Got it. So basically, you are trying to establish user-friendly policies so that they can trust you and they can just buy without any second thought.
Exactly.
Makes sense. So what are the sales channels you are using? So I can understand you have recently opened up an website as well for the people, but and normally you are selling through Facebook and Instagram. So can you tell us a little bit more about the ratios of each channels?
Yes, definitely. I have for the last 2 years, I went with Facebook and Instagram. It was great. Facebook and Instagram is still the great, but when it comes to a brand, when it comes to setting up a brand, we can't rely on Facebook and Instagram because that's not your place. We are the product of the Facebook and Instagram. So we all need a portfolio. For a brand to sustain, everybody needs a domain. Everybody needs a place in the internet where they can just Facebook and Instagram can go down today or tomorrow, definitely. So today you might not get a lot of orders from websites. Generally, in the beginning, we used to get in a month we used to get 10 orders from website. So that's in 3 days 1 order. It has changed a lot because when you have a specific kind of audience, you can retarget them. The customers becomes your friends. They trust your brand, so they come again. So there are customers who have ordered through Facebook, but later on the returning customers, they just go directly from our website and order it. They don't have to speak to our team. People likes to speak to someone before placing an order. They have a little bit trust on that, but nonetheless, everything is on the website, the policies and everything. The ratio 30%, roughly 30% is coming from our website right now, and other 70% I would divide it on Facebook and Instagram.
Got it. So what are the marketing tactics you are using? What worked best for you?
What worked best for me is my friends and other influencers who were already in the Instagram community or Facebook community. They tried my products. They were rooting for my products. That's the first thing. It was not the product. I never wanted to sell the product, buy the sandals and everything. I wanted people to know the brand because in the longer run, I am more of a brand-oriented person.
Yeah.
People should know the brand. The product is the outcome of it. So people were buying the product. They were supporting the KJ, the name itself. Then I've been featured in 1-2 articles and everything. So from there, the journey started. But people were going for, like, they were opting for it. Where were we again?
Marketing tactics.
Marketing tactics. So yes, PR marketing, Facebook marketing, and then obviously your fellow family and friends should root for it.
Word of mouth,
because people need trust. You need people to show the reviews.
Yep.
Your first-hand people should try it first when it comes to startups. So I think that helped me a lot. Marketing, Facebook ads and marketing, that's on the marketing. But yes, the PR and the bloggers and the Instagram influencers.
So you have tried almost influencer marketing, friends and family, PRs, Facebook marketing,
paid promotions, retargeting, everything.
So if you had to try just one, maybe you're limited to just try one, what would you do?
Okay, just one marketing.
Yeah.
That will be, I will go for retargeting.
Okay.
That's very much tempting. That's a very good, very good statistic, very good, not statistics, very good insights to target. Like you have, if you're doing this business for 2 and 3 years, you have a set of audience.
Yeah.
Your pixel has generated. If you have a little bit idea of what Facebook ads, you will get you have a small amount of audience. You can create lookalike, and then you can retarget. Just if it is one only, it's just retargeting. That is the best option. You can't do anything else, I guess. I don't think so, because if you reach for an influencer, you're reaching the influencer's audience, not audience related to your business. So if it is one, then retargeting Facebook ads.
Got it. And what are the challenges that you are currently facing?
Currently, I'm facing, it comes to reach and traffic in my website. what I've seen is I've been creating good contents. So what previously what happened is that I used to create normal contents. Like as I'm growing, I can see that like the past 4 months, 4 months before I created a content, which was not supposed to reach so much of insights, so much of reach, because the content was not professional, something like, because I've been always I'm always learning. I don't have, since it's my page, I just don't upload something which is the best. A good designer has created it. If I create something, if a customer has just messaged me a picture of them, like, yes, I've been wearing cages, I do feature them because I like to promote the rawness. Not always blogger has to wear my product or big model has to wear my product. A normal person does wear my product, they share the picture. So I've been seeing is that a good content is not the only thing. I've been creating good content, but they're not reaching the target audience which I have been trying to. So when it comes to that, I had to go with Facebook ads, because the way these Facebook, Instagram algorithms are built for creators, for business pages, they opt for, like, people need to spend money for them to show the ads. I understand I have 20K followers, but 20K is not it. 20,000 people are not, the post is not reaching 20,000 of my followers. The post has to be viral enough for 20,000 organic reach. So what I'm facing problem is, like, we have to go with Facebook ads, a lot of Facebook ads. That's acceptable as well. I understand how it works, because every minute the creators are just uploading batches of content. So showing a specific group of people, the ads run again and again. I think that's a bit difficult part, because you sometimes want organic orders too. But when it comes to a big when I come to a larger audience scale, I can't just rely on my organic audiences, because I know I have audiences, I know I have followers, but the contents are not reaching out to them, obviously, for obvious reasons, the Facebook and Instagram algorithms. So retargeting, going with the Facebook ads can be a little hectic for people, the people who have just started, because that requires a lot of, you need to study on your own, or there are always third-party agencies, ads agencies, marketing media, you can just give your page to as an admin, they're going to do this. But when you're trying to build something on your own, that gets the difficult, because you have to work, you have to go to the data. For the last month, what have I done wrong? I have spent the ad budget which my company allocated, but I haven't got enough sales order, or the target audience, or my pixel didn't fire up, or I didn't get a huge number of Facebook likes or followers. What happened? Because this is going to be here. We are here in the e-commerce platform. We always have to go with okay, fine, I've done this wrong. The collection didn't go well, but I have to strike again harder. I can't just sit back. I have marketed good campaigns, loafers, sandals, heels, but they didn't reach my audience. The products were not the problem. My strategies were the problem. So a lot of time it comes that we as a startup, there are a lot of brands or a lot of founders who think that the product is wrong. There comes a time when you have to get back and look at the data. What is actually the point? Your product has not been marketed to enough people for you to tell that it is wrong.
Exactly.
Or the product is not right.
So you're basically learning from all the experiences.
And I'm rooting for if you want to back out. For the entrepreneur journey is more about failures than success, because most of the time we meet failures, but those are not failures; those are just obstacles, obviously. But we have to look from the data set of mine. The insights is that have I got enough data? If you have enough customer data, you might be not winning, you might be not making profit from one collection. But if you have set of 20 customers, 20 good customers, you will get another few. You will have more audiences in the later run. It's all about running more good campaigns in the future run.
Got it. Well, thank you, Jamshed, for this wonderful session. We have learned a lot about your business and a lot of tactics as well. And we wish you all the best for your future endeavor.
Thank you so much, Maya Alice, for conducting this whole beautiful session.
That will be all for today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. I'll drop a brand new episode each week. Also, join our Facebook group and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'll put the links in the description box. See you in the next episode of e-commerce growth.